Bow and tremble at you.
No, Dr. Majeed, do not bow and tremble. When was bowing and trembling close to you? Thank you so much for making it.
Thank you.
And you need to check Dr. Majeed out, looking like, I don't...
Okay, because I didn't expose you, man.
Yes.
Okay. I will tell you, so you better don't wait fire.
I mean, you look at him and you feel like he wines and dines every day with Tobi Kubana and then Dangote and the likes of it.
You need to see the other You think she just dropped from bucket. So.
All right, so let's get into the big three on the midweek special with Majeed Dahiru as we look at some of the big stories. But first, Dr. Majeed, quickly, what do you make of the Achimugu situation, the development? The FCC says she's been wanted for like 2 weeks. They picked her up, and she did say she was coming into the country to respond to, the invite by the FCC. But, she was like arrested from there, and she went on hunger strike, and they're taking her to court. Is it in line with EFCC's modus operandi? We put out a notice, we're looking for you, allegation of money laundering, and if perhaps 24 hours to the deadline, we can as well pick you up anywhere we find you.
I believe there was a proper communication between her lawyers and the EFCC about her due date of arrival. Maybe this may have been prevented. Again, before the EFCC would declare somebody wanted, they may have extended an invitation to the suspect severally without response. That was when the EFCC usually would declare somebody wanted. They wouldn't just declare you wanted on the first instance of invitation. So I believe probably she has shown several invitations and she has not responded to their invitation to come and explain certain things probably. That's why they had to declare her wanted. Okay. And once you declare wanted, anywhere you are seen, you'll be
So once that declaration is put out, that notification...
Anywhere.
All right.
There's nothing like you're just arriving to come and now answer. No, you'll be arrested. So I think they are doing their job.
They're just doing their job.
Really. No.
All right then. So let's look at who else should be doing their job at this moment. PDP, the leadership, the National Working Committee. And one is wondering if they were snoozing before Delta happened, because it feels like they're running around, I hope not in circles at this point in time, as barring any last minute change, the People's Democratic Party National Working Committee and the Governors Forum are scheduled to hold a strategic meeting on the 11th of May to address the wave of defection and other challenges facing the party. A trusted senior member of the National Working Committee who requested to remain anonymous due to fact of or lack of authorization to speak on the matter exclusively to the Punch that the governors are scheduled to meet with the party leadership on the 11th of May, and stated that the meeting will focus on strategies to prevent certain members from leaving the party, the issue of the National Secretariat, and other matters impacting the party. This is as the PDP National Working Committee instructed its legal advisor, Kamaldeen Ajibade's son, to take legal action in court regarding the defection of Delta State Governor Sheriff Oboriwori and other elected officials. Recall that on the 23rd of April, Delta State Governor, along with his predecessor, Okowa, PDP's 2023 presidential candidate, as well as other elected party members from the state, officially defected to the APC. And it wasn't quiet, it was loud, it was in your face. It was a jamboree, a festival of defection at the end of the day. Like, it felt like, you want to rob assault and injury kind of defection. Apparently, that's what happened in Delta State. And some party members, for example, the Honorable Ikenga Ugochinyere, has been harping at the fact that there are quite a number of other governors in the line, queued up and warming up to defect also from the PDP to the APC. Some names have been mentioned, but we're not going to speculate until they boldly come forward and do that. But first off, we've had several conversations of what does this mean for PDP?
Oh, you mean what's happening now?
Is it the beginning of the end, or this emergency meeting on the 8th of May can salvage the situation and perhaps slow down the pace of the depletion they're facing at this point in time? Dr. Majeed, I know you will take us back to the mistake that was made from the zoning and giving the ticket to this person.
Look, it was on this program, Kim, before the primaries of both the PDP and the APC came on this program. Kim, I reminded you then.
You sure did.
I said APC was going to zone to the south. Remember I told you, ahead of the both parties' intention to either zone or otherwise. And I said, but the PDP isn't going to zone because they are considering picking a northern man. And then we warned that calculation is a miscalculation. It will backfire. And I penned an opinion several weeks ahead of the primaries, I penned an opinion where I said, if the PDP sails against the wind, it will capsize and sink into oblivion. That is, if it feeds the northerner. At a time that the wind of presidency was blowing south, you see, people don't just listen. And people are too stubborn in their ways. Up till now, some people are still not accepting this simple fact. It's very basic. They were making all sorts of arguments to support their miscalculation. No, we have our own calculation. No, the last president from the PDP was from the south, and so now we can't follow the timetable of APC and all sort of. Permit me to use the word nonsense. I will tell you that there's one presidency in Nigeria. One, all parties must align to it. The PDP didn't listen. No, they said they wanted to win the election. That they're going to prioritize winnability over the morality of zoning. I reminded them then it was better for the people to do the right thing and lose that election. They'll do the wrong thing and still lose. And the PDP was going to actually lose in any case. And I gave reasons why. Listen, the quest for power shift in 2023 was not just political, it had to do with national security. You see, the Buhari administration raised sectionalism, nepotism, all of the things I used to accuse him of doing on this same program, to a near state policy for 8 years. To the extent that it even affected his role as commander-in-chief, particularly when it comes to the issue of herdsmen crisis at the time. If you recall, when the Ondo State government and some Southwest governors decided to float Amotekun, for instance, you saw the back and forth between the presidency. So Nigeria was on the edge at that time. The Asaba Declaration was actually supposed to be a meeting, at the outcome of a meeting, that the 17 governors of the South, across party lines, across religious lines, across ethnic lines, and all other such subdivisions within that region. It was actually a meeting that was called to address the issue of herdsmen in the absence of action from the central government headed by President Muhammadu Buhari, who was from the north. It was at that meeting that they added that one-point agenda, that in addition to the measures being taken to address the issue of herdsmen crisis, power shift to the south is a collective demand. It was intertwined, because the idea was, the only thing that can save this country and save us from perishing is for that position of commander-in-chief to come to the south. So that we are sure to have one of our own that may now take the requisite action against these activities.
But wasn't PDP within its right to give their own kind of internal calculation to say we had Obasanjo?
It is within your right.
We had Yaradua, whose tenure was interrupted.
I know a very good driver, God forbid. It is within your right to pick up your car and ram it on the wall. Nobody can arrest you for that, no. So you fix your car, you fix the wall.
No, but PDP's argument was
we have seen the outcome.
But yeah, the outcome apparently is not favorable.
So if the outcome has now shown that you took a very wrong decision, you should be humble enough to admit it once you lost the election. Especially when it was foretold. Go and read that article. It was as if I was inside, it was the oracle that was revealing to me what was going to happen. We had warned that this was not going to work for the PDP. And we wrote series of follow-up articles after then to say, look, don't do. On this program, I was crying myself, who are saying, don't do this. It's going to end the PDP. You know why? The PDP's most consistent support base is in the south. As when the Middle Belt Forum, for instance, the Ohanese and PANDEF and part of Afenifere came together to say one power shift to the south, in addition to what the governor said. I said it means the political leadership of the south and the Middle Belt and the cultural leadership appear to have converged on this matter. Now, this was what the younger elements in the APC saw. The Erufais, the Masaris, the Kashim Shetimas, and his governor Zulum, the last of Ganduje too. Yeah. I call them younger element because the older northern establishment elements didn't see the need to pander to that sentiment. But this one saw that, look, no, there's a problem. And the only way to save Nigeria at that time, because Nigeria was almost on the edge. I used to say that Nigeria was on the road to Sudan. So to halt that road to Sudan was to shift out to the south. So in spite of how they about zoning, but they've taken this decision. So individually, those influential governors in the north and other people, we are speaking to power shifting to the south.
But, at that point, there are people who have argued that it was also a smart, even though in retrospect it looks not so smart right now. But it felt smart to saying, well, if the APC is doing south, we might as well ride on the wave of the popularity of the majority voting party in the north.
That is taking to the high sea now to go and sink you.
In retrospect, it doesn't look like it.
When somebody has seen something and is telling you don't do this, and it happened to come to pass, please learn to listen to that person. I'm just being modest here. I don't want to gloat about over anything. I'm saying it because of our democratic development. We said then that, look, the PDP cannot win 2023 election. Tail or head. You can't.
Wow.
You know why? APC is an incumbent party. And the president, one way or the other, will want to help his party to win. Somehow, it's going to be that way. But that the immediate objective for the PDP is to survive as a party. I haven't been in opposition for 8 years. To survive into the post-Buhari era, where a powerful figure like Buhari would have been out of the way. Already very powerful, dominant. No matter what you say about him, people that believe in him still believe in him. So when he's gone, the ground can be a bit more even. We can now enter the next phase for our democratic experience. Then the PDP is able to put this out in order, come up as a formidable alternative in terms of how they do their own things in their own party and in their own state they control. People might now begin to say, why not let us try this over once more? And I said until then, PDP should not necessarily aim to win, but to consolidate and remain alive. And to do this, zone your ticket to your southern base, specifically the southeast. You know why? I've heard people talk about microzone. Somebody came and declared that Atiku said they should microzone to the southeast. And when Wike refused, I came to the race. He took him to the race. I said, that is an Agbaya attitude now. It's like saying, I want to give you them biscuit. As they give it to social person, the other guy say, I want it to, and I'm start sharing biscuit to them. No. In the PDP, in the APC, nobody talked about zoning, nobody talked about microzoning. But the APC understood that when they came to the south to look for alliance in 2015, for a northern presidency to be birthed, it was the Yoruba Southwest that came in and blocked. The people like Amechi from the South, a few people from the Southeast, came in as individuals. They donated probably finances and other support, but they couldn't carry their regions. But the Southwest was delivered, though not completely, but at least the majority of the Southwest was delivered thanks to Tinubu and his political family, to that electoral war effort that brought Buhari in. And somehow, despite Tinubu's misgivings, despite Tinubu's, sometimes you feel he was not really fully compensated. There was that talk all over the place, but he managed to keep quiet, keep still, and maintain decorum, hoping that when the time comes, he will be paid back in the same way for what he did for them in 2015. And when the time came indeed, people felt, look, this man has been there. In 2019, he also repeated the same feat. I remember when Obasanjo was asking Buhari to run, it was Tinubu that was responding to Obasanjo, cautioning him, and trying to, he used so many unpredictable names against Obasanjo to defend Buhari. So he played his role both in 2015 and 2019. And so they wanted to look towards the south. The first one, he has the clout, he has the resources, he has a region behind him, and he has a lot of alliances in the north too. So he's just a natural choice going down south. Some people felt it should be Amechi because he played another very pivotal role for part of shifted to the south, to the north in 2015. Some felt it is Osibanjo, flower boy, idealistic, nice, easygoing gentleman. The primaries in the APC reflected these three tendencies. So Tinubu came first, Amechi came second, and Osibanjo came third. Each other supported by their friends from the north. The same way these people supported their friends from the north in 2015. Now, for the PDP, they decided to do the opposite. So I said, if Atiku truly has suggested that they should go to the southeast, and the Wike said he wants to contest, just the same way other Southerners contested in APC. But the bulk of the people that had the power to give decided to go to a particular place. I said, the equivalent of the Southwest and Yoruba-speaking part of Nigeria in the South to the APC for the PDP is the Igbo-speaking part of the Southeast. We have, and this is identity politics now, 3 major tribes. The PDP has largely survived since 2015 at least on the numerical strength of Nigeria's Igbo people. Just as APC has largely also survived on Yoruba and Hausa-speaking people's kind of support. So normally it was expected that if you're coming to the South now, if you want to reward any part of the South, it is okay, the one that has been considered and has sacrificed and has borne the brunt of opposition since 2015 to 2023. Whether they win or they don't win, it doesn't matter. Do the right thing. Now, let me, I want to, because people are still not understanding what has happened to the PDP. Because PDP is gone, let me just tell you why I'm giving all this. PDP, I'll tell you how PDP is gone. It is not more possible. And I'll tell you, I'm giving you this long story.
All right, we'll continue after the break. Stay with us. Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
PDP is gone. I don't know what will happen after 2027. And I'll tell you why.
Gone in what sense? The fact that you're going to see more depletion in the party.
Anybody who wants an opposition against Tinubu should be looking towards that coalition or forming his own party now. If you think the PDP as PDP,
can a coalition save the day if PDP decides to form, like humble itself at this point to say we're ready to work with other parties and other individuals?
The problem is most of the people that are in PDP now are going to leave, and I'll tell you why. If you are a bit calm, I'll tell you why. Look, listen. Let me repeat it again. For the PDP, the wages of sin is death.
Wow.
The sin the PDP committed is unforgivable. So you're going to pay for that from me. But somebody can be resurrected from the dead when the Messiah comes. So I don't know the Messiah that come and resurrect PDP from the dead. I don't know yet. But see, this is what they've done. PDP is gone. Let me tell you what has happened. You see, in 2015, something similar happened. The first problem PDP encountered as a party was in 2011. When Adua died in 2010, and Jonathan was not expected to have contested in 2011 because of zoning. The PDP chairman then was an Igbo man, Vincent Obulafo. Immediately Adua died, immediately was buried. After a few days, he made an announcement that no Southerner should pick a form for presidency on the platform of PDP, that it is still the turn of the North. Maybe then he didn't know that Jonathan had interest. And so he was removed from the party chairmanship. They brought another party chairman that was from the East, Okusileze Nwodo. That one didn't say anything, they just kept quiet and was working surreptitiously for the consensus candidate of the North then, within the PDP, who happened to be Atiku Abubakar. The North then, Bangida contested that election, if you remember. Saraki contested, Ali Guso contested, and Atiku. So they now set up a committee under the chairmanship of Adamu Chiroma to bring out a Northern consensus candidate, and Atiku was the person that was picked. So Ogunoze Nwodo was working for Atiku quietly, because as a Southerner, he believes it is the turn of the North. I'm making this analysis for people to understand. Again, take note, an Igbo man from Southeast. Atiku's DG campaign for the primary was Benobi and the Igbo man from Southeast. Atiku went into that race in 2011 against Jonathan. Jonathan won, Atiku lost, but something significant happened that most people did not take note of. That was the first time that an incumbent president seeking for a second term or a fresh term will go into a primary election with me or just other aspirants and lose a number of states. You won, but you lost some states. Normally, if you look at the primaries that brought in Obasanjo for a second term, Ekobe didn't do well. Ekobe did very well in the first one. But as an incumbent, Ekobe didn't do well. If you remember, that was that time that Chief Tommy Kimi was Ekweme, and we did Obasanjo 1,000 times. Because he's now incumbent, so everybody has now collapsed behind him, naturally. The incumbents hardly lose primary elections. But that primary was difficult to deliver for Jonathan, to the extent that Atiku won 5 states. Bauchi, I'll name them for you. Bauchi, Kano, Zamfara, Niger, and Sokoto. He won them. It was significant because that was an expression from the North that we don't want Jonathan. He's taking our turn. But Jonathan won. what happened? According to Atiku himself, when he lost the primaries, he turned over his financial support to Buhari of the CPC. So I couldn't get it from the PDP as a northerner. Let us now support Buhari from the other party to get what is our turn. You see how this issue of zoning is very serious. And that was why Buhari got support to the extent that he used CPC, a party that was put together about the 6 months to election, and Buhari garnered over 12 million votes. And when Buhari lost that election, there was a massive post-election violence in the North. Because the North felt it's our turn and they have used it to take it from us. I'm trying to set a background here.
And also based on the things that were said by this individual, politicians also steered the people towards this action.
On what basis? Our turn is being taken by a Southern and Jonathan. It was that serious to the dot. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Majeed Dahiru, did not support Jonathan to contest in 2011 because of the same reason I'm talking about 2023 now. I'm telling you that was my position. My position, if I were to be on the radio station that time, my position on 2023 would have been the same in 2011. Now, by 2015, Jonathan now wanted to contest again. It became obvious. What happened? 5 governors left the PDP, led by Atiku, into the new party called APC. And the southern half of Nigeria now, that's the Asiwa Jews, the TP Silvers, the Ruth Mamicha, and some others felt, indeed, it is the turn of the North. What did they do? They gave support to their northern counterparts. And Buhari emerged. When Buhari emerged, Jonathan saw this handwriting on the wall that if he didn't just do that which he did, which had made him a hero today, there could be crisis. Because it was an existential thing for the North then to take power back, because it was going to look like, is it that we can no longer rule this country? I understand, because there was a zoning arrangement since 1999. I don't blame them. The PDP, on the other hand, a year or two after that election loss, you know what the PDP did? Set up a committee under Ekwuremadu. Ekwuremadu came up with one major report out of many that we lost the 2015 election because we violated zoning. Therefore, we must make atonement. You know, when you commit a sin and you repent, God will forgive you. So we must make an atonement for that sin of 2015. By what? In 2019, only Northerners should be allowed to run on the platform of the PDP. No Southerners should run. They didn't take it to the police, or they didn't take it to the court. Just resolution. No Southerner bought form in 2019 for the presidential race in PDP. None, not one. All not an affair.
One would say none of this is written in any of the constitution of these parties.
Yeah, among thieves there must be honor. Look, the reason why you see successful bandits that are difficult to catch is because they have honor among themselves. So if you are appropriating the spoils of war to themselves alone, there are people that have given them away. Honor is called honor. Now, in 2019, Atiku granted an interview to Dele Momodu that Dele Momodu wrote in his column where he pledged one term if he was given the opportunity to rule in 2019. So based on that, and based on the fact that Atiku at that time was still regarded as somebody who had nationalist credentials and so many other characteristics, he was a better business manager, he did well as vice president, so many things came together for him. And the bulk of the PDP and the supporters from South, Southeast, and the Middle Belt, I was involved, supported Atiku against Tambuwa that Wike was supporting then. Wike was doing friendship, but we felt, one, Atiku is likely to do one term alone, since Buhari was already going to the second term. So if, peradventure, Atiku wins, he can do one term. He's also advanced in age. But Tambuwa is too young. You can't persuade him not to. So everything worked together for Atiku, and he was delivered at the primary election. Despite Wike's effort for Tambuwa, anybody who remembers can attest to this. But when Wike saw that the primaries were actually free and fair, and Atiku emerged credibly, he also threw his support massively behind Atiku for the general election. Now, in that election, Atiku got more votes in the Southeast, in the South, than he got from Adamawa in the Northeast. Atiku lost his polling unit in that election, 2019. Go and check the record. Atiku lost his ward. Atiku lost his local government to Buhari. But he won the Southeast, won the South. This was the time that the Southeast was under marginalization from Buhari for no voting for him in 2015. They repeated it. They didn't mind for Atiku's sake. Obi was his running mate. When he got to 2023 now, you see the Southeast loyal base. The South had felt they've been President Jonathan, and the Southeast supported them. So naturally, they weren't so keen. So That's why this Obi had a lot of support in South. It was a natural, look, these people have supported us before, so why not? When Obi was contesting, I told my PDP friends, I said, give your ticket to Obi. You know why? He might not win, but try your best in the north to canvass vote for him from your own side. Open your mouth and tell your people vote for him. That they have supported us since 1999. Tell them. Whether they vote or not, just try your best. But what he will do for you is, you see this base that wants power, the people would have satisfied them by giving them the platform and seem to have worked for them. Whether or not they win, you would have consolidated further on this same base. So your support base would have been retained. The same way it was retained in 2019. Going to 2023. That if you give it to the North, this base will feel betrayed. Because they took this decision for power shift because of the way Buhari ran Nigeria as a Northerner in 8 years. So every Southerner now is a matter of do or die for this. It's an existential thing. Don't violate the zoning. The PDP people said they wanted to win an election. I told them, no, you can't win because even the North.
The principle of winnability. I
say even the North will not vote for you people the way they vote for Buhari because this is not 215. The North has had power for 8 years. Some of them have the common sense and the moral high standing to reciprocate to their friends in the South. So for instance, when Buhari used to win the North block, no Northerner can win it in this election, not even Atiku. So don't waste your time. That's why they have also picked somebody they know can organize support. So if you look at the voting pattern in the North, because Tinubu's allies in the North were able to half the vote of a son of the soil, Atiku. Where Atiku will get 500,000 plus votes, Tinubu will get 300,000 plus. Hey, that's the effort of Tinubu's own men at home against one of their own. So with that and the fact that Atiku didn't win anywhere in the North Central, by aggregate, Tinubu defeated Atiku in the North and defeated him in the South, as I rightly predicted. Now, just leave Obi factor for now. And I told you that, look, if Obi stands on another party, Kim, it was on this program now. People almost thought I was the campaign manager for Obi. I said he was going to go as far as winning this election. That going into this race, Obi is the most popular candidate among all of them. Others will require structure and effort. This one is one-man round squad. He's like the Buhari of 2015. PDP didn't listen. They thought Obi cannot even... They thought, in fact, they were so naive that they thought that the Igbos will not vote for Obi. I said, no, for them it's an expression of we can, if we...
At that time, there was a kind of narrative in some corridors. I felt like if Ohaneze was not supporting one of the two. There was that narrative.
They were deceiving themselves. I would tell them you are deceiving yourself. These are documented. If you play back some of the tapes on this program, we discussed this issue extensively and warned the PDP that this candidate you have picked, disaster is waiting for you. Now, what has happened? PDP went to the election and lost. And the bulk of PDP governors, the bulk of the PDP structure, what really sustains PDP is in the South. The oil producing states, for instance, in the South. Now, why this was happening, Obi left JJJ to go and form his own party, Labour Party, and ran on it. Wike, who had supported Tambua in the previous primary in 2019, and who also supported Atiku, I don't want to tell you what he did, because you ask me where did he see the money from. But I know what I'm saying. He was the largest single donor by any government of PDP in Nigeria to that campaign effort. Not even Atiku can deny what I've just said.
Yes, I'm okay.
Not Atiku cannot deny what I've said. Nobody around can deny this. Now, when he did that, he delivered the state with higher votes that Atiku got to Adamawa to Atiku. It was now the turn of the South in 2023, a party that is largely supported and funded and sustained from the South. Atiku came into that race. And people forget something. You see, the North has more local governments and wards. So if you come into electoral contest, if the North comes together as one block behind one person, it has a very likelihood that they're going to defeat a person from the South. Now, and that was exactly what happened. Tambuwal, a beneficiary of Wike, stepped down for Atiku, and that beneficiary of Wike, against Wike. Wike lost Atiku. Plus all the insult to injury and that happened. If you are Wike, will you be happy with these people and the party? No. Now, you don't have to like Wike. It's not your business to like him. The truth is the truth. Now, unknown to the PDP, Atiku was a problem that has happened to it. And that problem now gave rise...
A lot of people will tell you Atiku and Wike. I've heard a lot of people repeatedly say that.
Atiku happened to the PDP. And that created the Wike problem. Fortunately for Wike and unfortunately for PDP and Atiku, a Southerner emerged as the president, Tinubu. And Tinubu gave green light to the rest of the South to say, well, no. Did you hear Tinubu's speech in Enugu State? Where he told the people that Igbo and Yoruba people are one people. Did you see the camaraderie? Did you see the conviviality? Tinubu's on a charm offensive. Because let me tell you, under Buhari, something happened under Buhari, people don't know. I'm coming back to this issue of the camp, It's under Buhari. You see, Buhari's kitchen cabinet was dominated by people from his own section of the country. From the chief of staff to some very key kitchen cabinet members. Governors of the South used to file behind those kitchen cabinet members in their homes in Abuja here, just to see if they can get attention of the president. It was that. You see governors going to one SSA domestic's house to go and lodge complaints because they cannot access the president directly without going through these sectional channels. They now have a president that they don't even have to call him for him to call them. It's like you don't have one of your own. Something you never thought was possible. Most of them in the PDP actually didn't think it was possible for Tinubu to win or for Obi to win. They thought Atiku was going to win because they were that naive. But when did that happen that this man performed the miracle of winning? So it's like, so this is possible. From that day, the South began to gravitate towards one of their own. And because the South is the one holding the PDP, in gravitating towards one of their own, the PDP is now being emptied one after the other. It's like, look at what I'm saying now. Okowa confirmed it yesterday in his interview. Okowa said, when he accepted to be running mate, he didn't realize the extent of the desire of his own people for power shift to the South. That was during the campaign he realized suddenly that this was a strong desire.
Well, he's just being a politician, clever perhaps, because
that is the fact. After Okowa was in PDP, Buhari was in PDP. Other people were in PDP throughout the 80s of Buhari. Most people didn't come to the APC. Yes. Some had APC cases, they didn't come.
No, I'm saying that with
a lot of Southerners stood their ground. They didn't come to APC. Even under Buhari's era. The PDP, in fact, by 2019, PDP almost torpedoed Buhari from power. And Buhari was even a stronger, when you say strong-handed president, than Tinubu. Look, this is the reality. He didn't see it then. He saw it now.
I have to say, I don't take what politicians say seriously.
Let me tell you,
because there's no way he would say that he didn't know when governors under the PDP, across party even, were having all kinds of meetings.
I said they calling for this. It's called naivety. The PDP section was, you are very naive.
No, do you think our politicians are naive?
I had interactions with a lot of PDP members from the South. They didn't, it don't matter what happened to the PDP Southern flank. Buhari pulled them twice in 2015 and 2019. So the kind of beating Buhari gave to them, it dehumanized them. They lost their humanity. I wrote it in that article. They became like, the almighty North. So unfortunately for them too, the PDP Northern flank took advantage of that naivety, that stupefaction of they are the almighty Alpha and Omega. The Sulelamindos, the Atikus, the Tambua took advantage of that to impress upon them that look, only us can get this power. And they fell for it. I had series of interventions. Each time I come on air and speak, they will come in, no, you are getting it wrong. The North, let them get power first. We cannot say, you can't get power through this means. That North you are looking at, who's going to vote a lot of people in the South. There's no Buhari in your party. And this is not 2015. The North knows that they've done 8 years. And half of them will look towards the South. Yes. And there is a hunger for this thing in the South, and the North sees it. The North sees it that for the first time in Nigeria's history, the wind of secession has blown from the southeast into the southwest. It's not only Barita who saw Igbo talk about Yoruba nation for the first time. Have you heard Yoruba people talk about the secession from Nigeria? It was that serious. Arising from the same issue, herdsman crisis. There was a national interest, national security was intertwined with the politics of equity and fairness.
All right.
The PDP didn't read the tea leaves properly. So what's happening now? Let me not tell you. This defection you are saying is based on solidarity with one of their own. A lot of PDP governors will defect. Akwam governor has told you today that he's going to defect. He made the statement that the media has reported that this man is going. A lot of them are going. Those that will not go will only stay behind, maybe to win local elections with the structure that they have, since they cannot compete with some other people in the structure. Otherwise, the PDP is empty. And I'm not telling you to empty the PDP more. I'll tell you that one now. I thought that a weekend happened to the PDP, but I took happened to PDP and developed a weekend problem.
Weekend problem.
It's not a problem with weekend now. No, weekend has not left the PDP. No, he has not left. That is even the bigger problem.
But the party is talking tough at this point, and so everyone within the party who's anti.
Statement to Wike, that party. Who in that party can talk to Wike? Who?
Well, I recall that Saraki did not mention
Is Saraki a member of the NWC? Why did he mention Wike's name? Who? The PDP is not a mass movement party. No ideology, no principle, nothing. It's a cash and carry party. So Wike is the biggest president in that party. All of them are afraid of Wike. Let me tell you what they do. They come on TV, sometimes they shout at Wike, and they go at night seeking for his audience. Look, I know what I'm saying. Now, you see this party, bar. There's a struggle going on in the party now over secretaryship of the party. That is where the party will sink finally. Because they wanted to wrestle the control of the party from Wike. So they decided to oust the secretary of the party, who was said to have gone to contest for governor and back, blah, blah, blah. Then the Supreme Court gave a ruling that clearly says this party is still secretary, and then another issue you have is always internally. The PDP governors, one of them have left the camp now, and some are applying to the camp. Somehow, I don't know the script they are playing, but of somebody else. Now, that has created an uncertainty and a division in the party. Because secretary of the party is the nerves, it is the soul of the party. Any document going to INEC must be endorsed by the secretary. If the wrong secretary endorses it, and I go to court against you, that election is nullified. So what you're about to see in the PDP is this. The struggle over national secretaryship, if it continues beyond this level, it will trigger a protracted legal conundrum that will see the PDP, either, two things happen to the PDP, either not being able to fill a candidate for the 2027 election at all. Because if you don't know who secretary of the party is, and you go and conduct a convention with the wrong secretary, it means the entire convention and everything that comes out of that convention going forward is nullified. Who want to risk his political ambition in a party that is not certain?
Perhaps that's why they stated it as one of the key areas they will focus on when they meet.
And I'm telling you now that you see that problem, it will linger. Now, if we can have his way, as for instance, Wike is able to have his way, he's still in the party, and his own man takes charge and he conducts the next, and maybe influence the next convention, the PDP will only be able to present candidates in states for the APC as placeholders, including the presidential seat. So two things happen to the PDP. Either they will not have candidate at all going to 2027, or if they will have at all, that person will just be a very weak candidate as a placeholder for President Tinubu. Again, take note of what I've said. You know when I told them the first one, they didn't believe it. It has happened. And the PDP has been emptied. In Anambra State, a strong PDP state, the only position that Anambra people do not give to the PDP is the governorship. You see, Senate, reps, everything is always PDP, including assembly members. PDP opened sale of form in Anambra State. Not one person picked a form. Whereas almost 10 people, about 7 or so, picked forms in APC, including Peter Obi's man Friday, Valentine Ozibo. He did come to APC. It tells you what happened across the South. They have one of their own there. And trust me with one thing, he's a good politician. He may not be a good administrator. He may not have been able to provide us with electricity, with cheaper fuel, with food. He has not got the land. I know. But politics, traditional politics, as we know it, is the grandmaster.
He's forte.
Because he knows how to give and take. He knows how to pacify people. I know most of these people one-on-one, so I can tell you. So he's able to do all of this against the PDP. And so the PDP cannot recover. There will be more decamping. And they said, go to court to do what? You have this with the national secretary now. So what are you going to court to do? The constitution said the only reason you cannot decamp.
They're also talking about, going to court on behalf of the Delta State governor, saying he has to vacate office.
Foremost, the constitution does not even clearly tell us whether a governor should decamp, he will lose his seat. No, it's not there. So
but there should be some penalty for collapsing an entire structure of a party and then moving all of them from top to bottom into a ruling party.
Is PDP a political party in the recent sense? This man formed the party. The party in
that means PDP, there is no political party in real sense in Nigeria.
I've told you this is the first time I'm telling you that the real challenger would have a political party in Nigeria, not one. I've told you severally now. That people should come together and start from. I told you, if you want Tinubu to be out of power in 2027, start from your party now. Don't wait for PDP. I keep telling people, don't take side with PDP APC whenever they're having problems. They are two sides of the same coin. You are wasting your time if you are beginning to hate Okowa now because he left PDP. What's wrong with PDP and APC? The people that came to receive Okowa and Obodiwori were not even PDP members. The chairman of APC, Ganduje, wasn't a PDP member. So what? Leave these people. Go and form. Look, Nigerians will begin to come together. A coalition of the willing, taking lessons or two from what is going on now, to fashion a real political party that can better a new Nigeria democratically. And it's possible. I've already said it. It is possible, but that's a story for another day.
A new party in one sense, because I've heard like the Labour Congress say Peter Obi can win 2027 without a coalition, meaning one man force at this point in time.
To tell you,
But on what party? Labour Party or a new party?
Thank you very much. I don't know yet. He will take that show by himself. To tell how Nigerians are very ready to really take their destiny into their hands. The Obi phenomenon of 2023 clearly shows that. Labour Party. And Obi won Lagos. Obi defeated Tinubu in Lagos. Obi defeated Okowa in Delta. Obi defeated Oshomole in Edo. Abla Adamu in Nasarawa. He defeated Buhari in Abuja. And he took along 12 states, 11 plus FCT. Phenomenal. In fact, again, I'll repeat this. According to Premium Times report and BBC report, Obi defeated Wike in Rivers in down to Obi Akpor local government and his wards. Without sharing shishi. Why? The personality of Obi inspired this level of following and commitment, right? What is required now to enhance that a little bit more is to give a defined ideology around what the political party you are going to bet on, so that people can now know in tangible terms, beyond your personality now, the hows and the whens and how to solve Nigeria's problem will be a little bit more clarity around that will be there. So people have even more reason to want to come out and, vest. So I'm sure if he's interested in running for the next election, he can be working on that. And I believe indeed, if he's able to come up with a clear-cut solution to Nigeria's problem, in addition to his already established persona and reputation as better than all those other people, Nigerians will still follow him, and he can win an election. That's the truth. People talk about electoral subterfuge. I say, look, the only thing that can defeat electoral subterfuge in Nigeria is people power. You think anybody wanted to win all the places he won? No. But people power can defeat it. So if you're able to mobilize people in sufficient numbers, their resilience will nullify. If people that are in INEC and police, are they not Nigerians? If they feel sufficiently induced by your own ideas and your messaging, they themselves will even sabotage anything, any instruction that they are giving to them. I saw it clearly in 2015. When the police and INEC officials refused to rig for the ruling party, I saw it because they believe Buhari was Majeed. I saw it. I was part of it. So that's another ball game. But you see, on this matter, PDP is gone. And again, I don't know the Messiah that come and resurrect PDP for 2027. It's possible. And miracles happen. But this one will carry the goal. So
even if there was a Messiah, if you have internal saboteurs within the party, there's very little that can
all the people that are funding PDP. Let me tell you how PDP functions. I don't know of anybody in this world, in Nigeria today, that can volunteer to do anything for the PDP for free. I've not met that person before. Let's do though. Let me tell PDP conduct their affairs. Anything you want to do in PDP, you must put money down for the members to go and do it. Anything you want, anything. You know the way you used to see obedience gathering themselves across. Nobody does that for PDP. CPC and APC in 2015 was the last time they did it for Buhari. And to some extent, even in 2019, some people still believed in Buhari enough to go out and vote. You see, PDP is monetized. That's why without these governors, without Delta, without Akwa Ibom, PDP cannot function. PDP is crippled. If you want PDP to do anything, down to their agent, to anything you want to do in PDP, you must put down money.
All right.
So without the funders of the party from state coffers, PDP is dead. That's one. Then they're having I'm saying the problem that Wike himself is the engineering. And you can't blame Wike. The party mistreated the southern base and specifically Wike. Whether Atiku supporters like it or not, they've been calling me, they've been saying, no, you're not fit. I said, no, we warned you. In 2019, if Wike was going to contest the primary election, right, Atiku should have mobilized his influential people in the north to support Peter Obi.
All right, Dr.
While Tambua was bound to have supported Wike, then whoever wins, PDP will run with the person.
All right.
It should have been a southern candidate. The PDP would have still retained the support and the solidarity of that base. So now that people feel that Tinubu is not doing too well, it should now be a matter of good governance. So who in the south can better deliver good governance? But now it's about southern solidarity. Our own is there. And if you look at the talk of coalition, Atiku is still in the race. He's still looking around, trying to contest. Whereas Jonathan realized that maybe he shouldn't have contested in 2015. Jonathan took a back seat in PDP affairs and allowed the party to chart a way forward. Atiku was still around, looking around, until the governors are now leaving.
All right, Dr. Majeed, let's get to hear the response of our listener to the conversation we've had. It's a midweek special, so you to continue up until 4:30, but we need to bring you in. So share your thoughts with us. And remember, there are a lot of people, I promise you, and a lot of messages. So don't stay longer than 60 seconds. Just go straight to the point as you pick your call. Hello, your name, your location, and straight to your point. 0700 951 0000 0809 59 74869 or 0809-9930-137. Hello. All right, let's hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Please turn off your radio.
Hello? Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Alex. I'm calling from Buye.
Go ahead, Alex.
I actually like what Dr. Majeed said this afternoon. He has said it all. PDP they have lost. They lost it when they failed to their ticket to the south. But the only thing I disagree with Dr. Majeed is when he mentioned that Okowa defected based on that never knew that the Southerners are really they didn't have power to care. Actually, I know that I don't believe. Hello.
All right, wrap up, sir. Wrap up.
Hello. I do not believe that is the main reason, because he actually knew he did everything within his powers to make sure that he retained the power. But when he saw that, because there is this allegation that.
All right, thank you very much. Let's hear another caller. Hello.
Yeah, this is Sunshine.
Sunshine, go ahead. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Majeed.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, so see all this. I've been listening to you very well, but all these innuendos now, a lot of people in the country are hungry. So this next voting is going to take a dramatic change, because hunger not be anybody mate,
All right.
Hunger not be anybody mate.
Thank you very much, Sunshine. So she's saying the hunger will be the determining factor. All right, let's hear this caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Dr. Majeed. Thank you very much for your analysis. I really do appreciate you. My question now is, despite knowing all this,
What's your name, though? What's your name?
Oh, my name is Michael from Michigan.
Oh, Michael, go ahead.
So, yeah. So the question now I have is, knowing that what's going on right now, that this ruling party has the control of INEC and the judiciary, which is the basic backbone of our electoral system. How then do we think that there's a credible election that's going to happen in 2027? We should be focused on how are we going to do this right now, because I don't know. I don't see how this can change. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Adekunle Olayinka from Newcastle in the UK says, brilliant analysis. May God help Nigeria. And Thompson Ogosi says, Dr. Majeed, thank you for your very objective analysis. Please, what about INEC? What can be done so that votes will count in 2027? Kingsley Aja saying, as much as I respect this man so much, but I'm curious, do we have any genuine election in the country? Nas J says, politicians are just being selfish in all they do for the interest of, they don't do anything for the interest of their country. Jonathan shouldn't have contested in 2011. That was what caused the downfall of the PDP. And Peter Tech says, Dr. Majeed, please tell Mr. Wale Edu and OAGF to pay federal workers their salaries and wage so that Mayday workers would go well. All right, I think it's about their pay then. Stephen Onyeka says, Dr. Majeed, good to see you. Long time no see from Life Camp. Ewong Oja, I see you. Chooks D, he sends his greeting to our guest. Otuo Eyes, Dr. Majeed is here again. Welcome, sir. Tinubu really messed up the South, and we are okay. We're thinking how we would do any better. Banky says, thank you very much, Banky. I appreciate your kind words. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Tongin, and I'm calling from Babalada.
Go ahead, sir. You've got 60 seconds.
Yes, Dr. Majeed and all of you there, we really appreciate, and it's good that we are carrying out with this kind of discussion at this time. Personally, I'm an obedient person. So we believe we won the election, but so many forces took over. But I think someone asked a question, how can we do, given the system we have now, the electoral system we have now? I think we can do a lot of things. One is that if you remember vividly, after the presidential election, then the next one was the governorship election. The way people stood and followed up with the voting was different from what happened during the presidential election, because the presidential elections, we understand that it was full of betrayal. So people stood. I remember I was in Jos, and I saw how you followed up with the vote onto the local government, and they stood there and made sure that nothing bad was done. Or if not so, I was not sure how the outcome of the governorship election in Plateau State was.
All right, so we need to go for the news.
I think we are more wiser now, and we will keep watching and making sure we put pressure on the system until the right thing is done. Thank you.
This is Nigeria Info.